Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada
Nityai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nityai Gaur Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Jai Shri Radha Shyam Sundar ki Jai.
Jai.
Okay, one kind request to everyone to please pray for Khyati Mataji. She is struggling with life. Okay, so yeah, I visited temple or I visited hospital on Saturday as well as today. We read Bhagavad Gita today, and she's not coming out of the coma. She's under the coma for 4 5 days now. So she went to hospital on Thursday. So she's still not recovering. In the morning, her health was still it went down. So please pray for the family, and let's all dedicate this class to her. Okay, please keep remembering her in your prayers. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so what we learned last week, we'll just quickly revise and then we'll move ahead. Okay. So we are learning about Krishna. Okay. So this is the literature of lesson 3. We already done lesson 1. For those who are new, just I'm letting you know. So in the syllabus, Gita Nashram syllabus, we have lesson 1, lesson 3, lesson 4, and lesson 9. So that's why lesson 2 we haven't touched. Lesson 1, then lesson 3. Lesson 1 was containing basic information of Bhagavad Gita, the timeless science, and the spirit of Bhagavad Gita. And the lesson 3 will be containing about all about Krishna. Okay, so we learned about nature of God. Who is God? Who is Krishna? Is it a supernatural power or force? And then Krishna is saying that I am above the 3 modes of material nature even. So he is above all the material nature, and because he is the controller of, actually is controller of material nature. So then we learned about who is Krishna. Is he a Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagwan? So we learned about 3 features of Bhagwan, who is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, Krishna is Supreme Personality. So he's a person. He's not a effulgence, or he's not a super soul, Paramatma, who is residing in our heart, but he's a he's a he's a separate personality. Okay, and he's independent. He's supremely independent, and he has his will is supreme will. Okay, our free will is bounded by our karmas and our desires and everything, but and it is controlled, but he is supremely independent. So whatever qualities we have in this material world is originally coming from Krishna. So everything supreme is Krishna. So he's a personality. That means that we can have a relation with a person. So we can have relation with Krishna. And then we learned that is God a Hindu, and for Hindu or Muslim or any sect, and he comes under which sect. So we learned about sun. Is it a sun is American or Indian? Like that, Prabhu tried to explain us that if the sun is not American, not Indian, then God is one, and he's not Indian, not American, or any, but he is for everyone. He's out of all the sects or religions that we learned. And also we learned about divinity. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yoveti tatvata. Whoever knows about my birth and my karma, my activities, then that person doesn't have to take birth again. He gets liberated. So we learned about supernatural pastimes of Krishna. When as soon as he was born, he displayed his four-armed form in front of Mother Devaki and Vasudeva. So God is never made, right? He's not made God. God cannot be made. He's God at the time of birth. He's God before birth, and he will remain birth. And like he never takes birth in short, but he appears. But when he was just one day, he was just when just he appeared on this earth. That time also he was a God, and then we learned about some of his pastimes of his appearance in the jail, and like while Vasudeva wanted to cross Yamuna river, so Krishna just put his lotus feet on the his lotus toe touched the Yamuna river, and Yamuna river gave way to Vasudeva to go towards Gokula. And also the jailers, all the jailers were sleeping at that time. So the Maya Devi is completely under the control of Krishna. So that's why this all he can do. But over and above, he is also Krishna pervades the existence as a person. Krishna also showed his universal form to Arjuna. So although he played his baby-like pastimes with Mother Yashoda and in Vrindavan, very sweet pastimes, but still we should never forget that he also established himself as a supreme personality of Godhead, and he showed his universal form. The same Krishna showed his universal form and to Arjuna, and he also gave knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, such a supreme knowledge to Arjuna. So it's very difficult to believe. So that's why some people say that he is not Krishna, he is Vishnu. No, he is the same Krishna who said Bhagavad Gita also. Krishna, his devotees, and his eternal relations. So we also learned about 10th chapter Chaturshloki, in which so it is the Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Okay, so Sambandha Gnan. So when Krishna is a person, we can have a relation with Krishna. So this is called Sambandha Gnan. So in 10.8, Krishna gives us Sambandha Gnan, that you can establish a relation with me. So in 10.8, Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante ma buddha bhava samannita. Everything is coming from the me. I am the supreme source of everything. Whatever you are seeing in this world, everything is coming out of me. And at the same time, you can also establish a relation with me. So he's our supreme father, so we can have a relationship. So that is called Sambandha Gnan. Then verse 9 and 10 is Abhideya. So now we know that he is our supreme father. So what one should do, right? So if we have a father, right? Then what we'll do? We'll do his seva, right? Service. We'll help him if our father is there. So in the verse number 9 and 10 of Chaturshloki Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that Machitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Kathayantasya Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. Here the verse is written. So here they have shown some Prabhupada's very beautiful disciples of Prabhupada. They are discussing about glories of Krishna, and look at their smiles. So nicely they are smiling and so happy. Bodhayanta parasparam kathayantasya mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They are so happy. So the Krishna's pastimes are very pleasing actually. That's why once you have this taste of Krishna, then you can never leave. So, but first you have to get into it. So then in 10.10, Krishna says that now you are happy. Now what Krishna does? Now Krishna is also reciprocating as per our endeavors, right? So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 10.10 that Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purukam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena maam upayanti te. So whoever is preaching my glories, who is doing glorification of me, who is worshipping me, talking about Krishna, then what Krishna does to that personality? He gives his intelligence. Which kind of intelligence? By which they can go back to Godhead. Okay, such kind of spiritual intelligence Krishna gives. So this is called Sambandha Abhideya Gnana. Then endeavor, right? From endeavor from our side and Krishna's side. And then in the 11th, the Chaturshloki last verse, Krishna says that Esham evanukampartham aham agnana jantama nashayami atmabhavastu gnanadipena bhasvata. So the person who is always endeavoring for Krishna, what Krishna does, he goes inside his heart, like he is already inside his heart, but he lightens up his inside. That personality is inside from and removes his all the material modes of ignorance and passion, and he brings goodness to that person. Right. So Gnana Deepena Bhasvata. So I give him supreme knowledge and I enlighten that person by supreme knowledge. So this is Prayojana. Okay. Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana. That is in Chaturshloki. Krishna has shown these three kinds of knowledge. So establishing relationship, endeavoring for, because we have established that relationship, endeavoring, and then the third is prayojana, hetu, kya hai. So why we are doing this? To get supreme, to go back to supreme abode, and Krishna establishes himself within ourselves. He is actually there. He becomes present in ourselves. Actually, he's there, but he doesn't speak. So that's our problem, because we are very irresponsive. So when we endeavor for Krishna, then Krishna enlightens us. And so this is what we learned. And I think we learned about the South Indian Brahmana also, because he was illiterate. And he was just seeing the picture of Bhagavad Gita. And he saw that Krishna is the driver of the chariot, and that Arjuna is the passenger, is the warrior. So, and he was crying, looking at the picture, that see, Krishna does such a menial job for his devotee. So this is like by this all the pastimes, Krishna says that Krishna is not a Brahman. He's not just a effulgence. He is a person, and you can establish a relation with him, right? And we also learned about 5 types of relations. One can serve Krishna in just a passive mode, right? Just as a, like, if you see this mobile, if you use this mobile for Krishna's service, then it becomes a passive mode, right? Then we read the book Bhagavad Gita, right? All the paraphernalias which are using for the worship of Krishna, the shank, the conch shell, and all the achman cups and everything, that is serving Krishna in passive mode. Then there is active mode also. So in that, like dasa, right? Dasa, we are all like, we all should become dasa of Krishna, like a servant of Krishna, right? That is a then above that is servant mode of in that mode also we can serve Krishna. Then above this servitude mode is a sakha mode, is a friend, right? You can become friend of Krishna, like Arjuna became friend of Krishna. Above that is parental mode, right? Parental mode, in the parent, some people have a Laddu Gopal in their houses, so they serve Krishna as parental mode. And then the highest form is Madhurya Ras, which only gopis and Radharanis have, that pure love of Krishna. They can do anything for Krishna. So throughout his life, Krishna has showed the relationship. So I don't know how people are saying that Krishna is just a effulgence and he doesn't have any form. So in nowhere Krishna's pastimes, nowhere he has shown that he's a effulgence. He's supreme person. And like Gopa friends, gopis, Arjuna, the other Pandavas, they all establish nice relationship with Krishna, and he enjoys this relationship with his devotees. Okay, so now we'll see the 4th video. Thank you everyone for attending the classes. Prabhu's lectures are really very beautiful, and I hope we all together we can have a good time today. Okay. I have to, where did I keep? Oh, yeah, this one. Okay. Okay, can you see and can you hear?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesa Sunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarine. Welcome you all to this episode on Krishna as he is. This is the fourth video. We have talked about Krishna as a transcendental person. Person means he has his own desire. He has his own likes and dislikes. So it is not that God doesn't have likes and dislikes. No, he cannot sense anything. No, he senses each and every aspects of his creation. He simultaneously controls each and every aspects of creation. But more importantly, he gets connected in a transcendental relationship with each one of us. So among all opulences of Krishna, this relationship is the most important aspect of Krishna as he is. Why? Because we have already discussed Krishna as infinity is inconceivable. So then what we are going to get if we contemplate on Krishna? If we contemplate on Krishna, we'll have a relationship with Krishna. We'll be in a relationship with Krishna. We can have an affair with Krishna. Normally, in a traditional society, if you hear someone has an affair with someone, and that is talked very badly. But if you have an affair with Krishna, in fact, that is the best thing. Lord Brahma talks about it. Lord Shiva talks about it. All the great yogis, they talk about it. To have an affair with Krishna is the best thing. If you always I'm thinking about Krishna, that's the best thing that can happen to me. So let us talk today. The title is Sweet Relationship. Although Bhagavad Gita derives her authority from Lord Krishna, who is the absolute truth, the personality of this absolute truth makes him look most attractive and beautiful. You know, remember the 11th chapter when Krishna showed Arjuna his Vishwarupa, and Arjuna got frightened because he saw that ghastly teeth into which the Duryodhana and his party are entering and getting completely smashed. And it's very frightening. Krishna is the controller. But Krishna as a lover, as a friend, as a guide, as a teacher is very beautiful. Arjuna didn't want to be separated from Krishna. Draupadi didn't want to be separated from Krishna. The gopis in Braj, they didn't want to be separated from Krishna. Because Krishna as a person is most beautiful. Lord Krishna as a friend or a lover is much more attractive than he as a supreme controller. Following narration entail that Krishna and his devotees are eternally bound by eternal loving relationship where the boundary between master and servant vanishes. So we will tell this story. Please hear with attention. So this is about a South Indian Brahmin. In the holy place of Sriranga Khetra, a Vaishnava Brahmana would daily visit the temple of Lord Ranganatha and recite the entire text of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita has 700 verses, so he'll recite every day all the verses. However, he was not able to pronounce the Sanskrit words correctly. And so Sanskrit scholars around the temple used to make fun of him. But just by reading the Bhagavad Gita, he was overflowing with great spiritual ecstasy. And so he did not at all bother about what people were talking about him. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Sri Ranga Khetra and saw the Brahmana shedding tears of love, he asked the Brahmana, "My dear sir, why are you in such ecstatic love? Which portion of Bhagavad Gita gives you such transcendental pleasure?" The Brahman replied, "My lord, I am illiterate and therefore do not know the meaning of words. Sometimes I read Bhagavad Gita correctly and sometimes incorrectly. But in any case, I continue with my reading because it is the order of my spiritual master." So just to summarize what has happened, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was on a South India trip. Just in the beginning of Chaturmasya, he reached Sriranga Khetra. He stayed in the house of Venkata, the chief priest of Sriranga Nath temple. And there, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met this wonderful Brahman who was every day reading Bhagavad Gita, all the verses. Although he was not understanding the meaning, although he was not able to pronounce the words properly, like the Bhagavad Gita starts with Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yushava Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kima Kurvata Sanjaya. One may not be able to recite properly these verses. For example, I am not educated in Sanskrit. So naturally, when I'll recite Bhagavad Gita, I'll make mistake. So it doesn't mean that I'm forbidden from reading Bhagavad Gita. No, this Brahmana is saying, my spiritual master, that is his spiritual master, ordered him to read Bhagavad Gita, to recite Bhagavad Gita. In Oriya, there is a proverb. The proverb is, Ruch na ruch, kha pita, buj na buj, for Gita. Meaning is, whether you like or you don't like the taste of bitter things like neem leaves, bitter gourd, doesn't matter, you just eat it because it's good for health. Similarly, whether you understand, you don't understand, every day recite Bhagavad Gita. Okay? And the Brahmana continued. Actually, whenever I open the Bhagavad Gita, I only see a picture of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, sitting as a charioteer on the magnificent chariot of Arjuna. With the reins in his hands, Lord Krishna appears very beautiful. When I see this picture of Lord Krishna driving the chariot of Arjuna, his beloved devotee, I am filled with ecstatic happiness. So you see, so Brahmana doesn't understand the meaning of the verses, but because he's following his spiritual master, and hence he's performing his devotional service properly, he's getting purified every day. And because of that, he's able to understand who is Krishna. He knows my Krishna, my Lord, is the absolute truth. He's infinite, he's Ananta, he's inconceivable. And Arjuna, as a jiva like me, is infinitesimal, is small, very tiny. But same Lord, who is infinite, has become a mere chariot driver of Arjuna. Arjuna is ordering, "Oh Krishna, please take my chariot to the middle of the battlefield so that I can see who have come to fight with us and against us." And Brahmana was feeling ecstatic love. Tears are rolling down his cheek because he's not able to conceive the magnanimity of the Lord, that he could become a mere chariot driver of Arjuna. Lord Chaitanya thus embraced this Brahmana and stated that he had actually realized the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So what is the essence of Bhagavad Gita? We've already discussed that Lord Krishna is infinite, is inconceivable. So what is that which makes a seeker of truth to dedicate oneself life after life? It is one's relationship with the Supreme. I build a relationship with the Supreme. And that relationship always becomes better and better and better. Sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. We have a very wonderful Acharya, Yamuna Acharya, who is the spiritual master of Ramanujacharya. He composed once he composed a very, very wonderful verse. He says, Yadavadhi mama cheta Krishna padaravinde nava navarasam dhamani udyantam rantum ase tadavadhi patanari smaranam smaryamane mukham bhavati vikara sustum nistivanam cha. Yamunacharya is saying that whenever I am meditating on Krishna, his transcendental form, his transcendental activities, his divine qualities, every moment I am releasing newer and newer mellows, transcendental juice. And that keeps me completely occupied. And by mistake, if I remember my past life of sense gratification, then I feel very dejected about it. I feel like spitting at the very thought of material enjoyment. So this is the nature of Krishna consciousness. Once I establish a relationship with Krishna, then that's the best thing that can happen to us. Though Lord Krishna is Lakshmipati, husband of goddess of fortune, he readily took the humble position of a chauffeur or chariot driver. For this extraordinary pastime of his is glorified even today as Parthasarathi, the charioteer of Partha or Arjuna. And Krishna doesn't feel, oh, his dignity has gone down. No. Krishna feels very happy when he's called as Parthasarathi. Krishna feels very happy when he's called Makanchor. He doesn't feel his position is minimized because we are calling him Parthasarathi. No, he's celebrated as Parthasarathi. And the Brahmana of Sri Ranga Kshetra is able to perfect his life by simple meditation on this sweet relationship. The relationship between Krishna and his devotees. Let's pray for our own divine relationship with Krishna, which is our eternal right. My dear friends, don't waste your time. This human life will never come again so easily. Our divine right is to establish our divine relationship with Krishna, our eternal relationship with Krishna. Just think of in the midst of the jungle, when Durvasa and 60,000 followers reached almost at the sunset, declaring that they are going to come back for the dinner or whatever it is, and left for taking bath. The poor 5 Pandava brothers and Draupadi, puzzled.
Keep your mics muted, please.
They don't know what to do because nothing is there for them to cook. And Draupadi remembers Krishna, and Krishna is there. This is the beauty. It is not that Draupadi remembered Krishna in the middle of the jungle, and Krishna, started, by being in the horseback, being on the horseback from Dwarakapuri to that remotest place. No, he's there. Each one of us,
Something is wrong.
we can establish a
Rajan,
relationship
can you
with
keep your
Krishna.
mic mute,
We can
please?
pray to him all the time. Sweet relationship is the essence of understanding. All yoga system, whether Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, ultimately we want to establish a sweet relationship with Krishna. Sweet relationship means Krishna is a transcendental person. As a transcendental person, he can reciprocate with all of us. We don't have to worry whether Krishna can reciprocate with me because he has so many other devotees to take care of. No. He can take care of us all. Even if you add another infinity, it is not an issue for Krishna. And this is what we'll start discussing in the next episode. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you. So, this. I think this video was less self-explanatory. So we'll move to the next one.
Swami Nitinami. Krishna is a transcendental person. Today we will learn more about his transcendental personality. Krishna's transcendental personality enhances his own beauty because in that personality he can reciprocate with unlimited devotees. Krishna is there wherever his devotees are there. He is impartial, but then he is also partial to his devotees because his devotees are non-different from him. So Krishna, the Supreme Person, we have discussed how Krishna is the original transcendental person. Among various traits that define the idea of personhood, what is the most important trait? Relationship is the most defining aspect of personhood. We can say Krishna is he from whom everything comes. Janmadi yasya ataha. Everything comes. And everything finally dissolves. And when they are dissolved, they rest in him. That is Krishna. We can say Krishna is avijja. Itaratas anvayat charthesu avijja. That is, he is directly and indirectly cognizant of everything in space and time. And Surat, which defines him, he is unique. He is only unique, and that is absolutely independent. So Surat, independent. So if all these traits are traits of absolute truth, but these truths are necessary for us to contemplate on the nature of Krishna. But for a transcendentalist, for a devotee of Krishna, what is important is Krishna is a person, I have a relationship with him. Or I can have a relationship with him. If I don't have a relationship, now I can build that relationship with him because I'm eternally Krishna's servant. Krishna is that transcendental person who possesses unlimited relationship. If you observe in this world, you can at best make few relationships with a lot of endeavors, and they are not even permanent. The relationship that you make in this world are temporary because your personality is not spiritual. It's mostly material. When you become a spiritual being, you discover yourself as a divine being, then you see that you have a relationship with Krishna. In fact, the moment I realize I'm servant of Krishna, my whole world changes. Any relationship I may have with Krishna. But the basic feature that defines all these relationships is that Krishna is my master and I am his servant. Krishna is our father. Krishna is our mother. Krishna is our teacher. Krishna is our all in all. And these relationships are permanent or eternal. You can establish a relationship only with Krishna, but he can establish a relationship with everyone. So my relationship is established only with Krishna. But Krishna establishes a relationship with everyone. But the point here is, the catchword is, these relationships are eternal. Krishna remembers his relationship with each one of us. But we have forgotten that relationship. Being captivated by his Maya potency. Maya potency is that potency of Krishna that makes us forget Krishna. We forget Krishna because we don't want to serve him. That is Krishna's magnanimity. He allows us to forget him. And that's when Maya potency takes over and we forget Krishna. And we want to behave like Krishna. But the moment we recognize I'm servant of Krishna, immediately the whole world changes. And Krishna helps me to discover my eternal relationship with him. This is the difference between our tiny potency and Krishna's infinite potency. Even as a material individuality, I cannot establish relationship with many. Even to sustain a family, a person works very hard, dedicates his whole life for the family, and still, most of the time, he fails to satisfy his family members. We often see in this world. That's how insignificant we are. But Krishna is unlimited. His personality is inconceivable. Simultaneously, he can become chariot driver of Arjuna. He can cater to the need of Sudama Brahmana. He can fulfill the desire of Savari. He is waiting for the arrival of Lord Ram in her ashram. Krishna simultaneously can satisfy everyone. Imagine, suppose you are in a place where you have your father, mother, wife, children, everyone, your peers, everyone is there together. You will have a hard time to reciprocate with them. But Krishna, he has no problem. Even unlimited number of devotees surround Krishna, still you will have no problem. I'll just give you some of the examples to explain this. Krishna used to have picnic. So when he's in the picnic, thousands of cowherd boys will surround him. And each of the cowherd boy would see Krishna directly, reciprocating with him only. The Krishna in the center, so many cowherd boys are there, but each cowherd boy is not thinking, oh, Krishna is showing his back to me, or Krishna is not reciprocating with me. Krishna is simultaneously reciprocating with each of the cowherd boys present there. Everybody is seeing only Krishna's face. The smiling, charming face of Krishna is enchanting each and everyone. This is Krishna's personality. Another example, when the damsels of Braj, they reached the bank of river Yamuna in the middle of the night as Krishna played on his flute. Each of the damsels, each of the gopi, she wanted to be with Krishna alone. So Krishna manifested his opulence. For each gopi, each of his girlfriends, Krishna manifested a divine kunja. And within each kunja, gopi and Krishna alone. Each gopi is thinking, I'm only with Krishna. But actually, Krishna has manifested millions of divine kunjas. And each kunja, there is gopi and Krishna. And each gopi is thinking, how fortunate I am. I'm alone with Krishna, dancing with him, shoulder to shoulder, step to step. So this is beautiful personal feature of Krishna. She can unlimitedly cater to the need of his devotees. For each devotee, he comes as a separate individual person. So that Krishna who is reciprocating with one gopi and that Krishna which is reciprocating another gopi, same Krishna but becomes many. That is his inconceivable personality. To think that Krishna doesn't have a form is absolutely abominable, unthinkable, is derogatory. Krishna has a transcendental form, and that form has to be understood by the association of his pure devotees. Krishna as absolute truth is one, but he becomes many to celebrate his opulence. His friendly spirit makes him manifest unlimited friends as cowherds in Vrindavan. His mood of a lover makes him to manifest unlimited girlfriends such as damsels of Braj. These relationships are so sweet that the greatest yogis contemplate on these relationships with care and attention. So these are not filial relationships. These are absolutely transcendental relationships. Krishna has a parental mood, and that mood within him makes him to manifest Yashoda and Nanda Baba, Devaki and Vasudeva. Like that, Kashyapa and Aditi. So he is always one originally, but his transcendental personality makes him to become many. And that's how he celebrates. His cowherd friends, his cowherd girlfriends are all spiritual. There is no inebriety in any of these relationships. They're absolutely pure and divine. Let us not imitate what Krishna does. My dear friends, in our society, many try to imitate Krishna, and all that finally happens is that they all end up in jail. Krishna responds to Draupadi's call. When Draupadi was being disrobed by Dusasana in the assembly of Hastinapur, she called out, Govinda, Krishna. And Krishna personally became infinite sorry to give her protection. It did not take him any time to do this, in spite of the fact that when Draupadi was being disrobed, Krishna was in Dwarka, while she was in Hastinapur. For him, there is no distance because he is everywhere. Draupadi was disrobed. Nobody could help her, nor her husband, nor grandsire Bhishma, nor the emperor Dhritarashtra himself. And she had only one person to take shelter of, and that is Krishna. and she naturally took shelter of Krishna. And as soon as she remembered Krishna, taking full shelter of him, Krishna immediately appeared and protected her. Dusasana was humiliated, not Draupadi. This is the beauty of Krishna. In whichever dire circumstances you may be situated, if you are a devotee of Krishna, be sure that Krishna will protect you. After all, he's our best friend, he's our best protector, he's our most confidential person. There is another example here. Krishna protects Draupadi from the wrath of sage Durvasa. While the Pandavas and Draupadi were in exile after they lost everything in gambling, says Durvasa, along with his 60,000 followers, came to see them. This actually was the wicked plan of Duryodhana, who knew well that being in the forest, Yudhishthir would not be able to provide any hospitality to the sage, who was known for his short temper. In fact, the plan was like this. Durvasa with his followers came to Hastinapur. Duryodhana nicely took care of them, and then he thought this is the time to do some harm to Pandavas, and said, Pandavas are just nearby, somewhere nearby in the forest. Why don't you go pay a visit and bless them? But internally, Duryodhana is thinking that now these Pandavas have nothing, they cannot feed Durvasa, and Durvasa's curse will finish them. That was his plan. And Durvasa and his followers, they reached the forest and the ashram of Pandavas. It was a tradition in Vedic times that when a rishi comes to a Kshatriya, the latter should offer him nice food. So Durvasa asked this to make arrangement for their food while he and his disciples went to bathe in the nearby river. It so happened that Draupadi had a magical pot called the Akshaya Patra, in which she could cook and feed unlimited number of people. However, she would not be able to serve once she had taken her food. The day, says Durvasa, had come. Draupadi and her husbands had already taken their food. In fact, Draupadi first serves her husband and finally he takes. And that day, Draupadi had already taken her meal. Once she takes her meal, the pot will not deliver prasadam. The Pandavas were in crisis situation since Durvasa's wrath could turn them all into ashes. At that moment, Draupadi just remembered Krishna and he appeared without any time lag, because if you build a relationship with Krishna, he reciprocates spontaneously. Imagine the situation of Draupadi. She is going through a lot of pain, humiliation, and torture because her capable husbands are suffering in the midst of the jungle. They're supposed to live in palatial buildings. They're supposed to rule the kingdom, but they're suffering. In addition, Durvasa has come to increase their suffering or misery. Out of helplessness, Draupadi prayed to Krishna, "Oh Krishna, please help me. Please protect my husbands." Krishna used to address Draupadi as Sakhi because she was friend of Krishna. That means the natural relationship of Draupadi with Krishna is that of a Sakha. So she used to call Sakhi, friend. So Krishna said, "What did happen, Sakhi? Why did you remember me?" And Draupadi said, "You already know everything. There is nothing hidden from you. Please solve my problem." Krishna said, "You give me something to eat. If I'm satisfied, these 60,000 men will also be satisfied." In utter despair, Draupadi exclaimed that there is nothing in the pot. Still, Lord Krishna asked Draupadi to show the pot. Akshaya Patra. There he saw that one tiny particle of rice was sticking to the bottom of the pot. As soon as Lord Krishna accepted that particle of rice, Durvasa and his 60,000 followers immediately felt the satisfaction of having eaten a huge feast. They were in no position to eat another meal that they thought Yudhishthira would have nicely arranged. So Durvasa and his followers hurriedly left from the river itself without returning to the Pandavas' cottage. My dear friend, you see. In fact, Krishna sent Bhima, please go and invite them. So by the time Bhima or one of the brothers who were sent by Krishna, when he reached the river, he is wondering, where are they? They are no more there. The way Krishna reciprocates with his devotees is simply wonderful, my dear friends. Let's be in love with Krishna. From this sweet pastime, we can see that Krishna easily reciprocates with his devotees, even in dire situations. Krishna has all power, all fame, all riches, all knowledge, and all beauty. But the most important among all such opulences is his relationship with his devotees. And time and again, he reveals how he cares for them. These two examples should inspire us to build our individual relationship with Krishna. After all, he is the supreme transcendental person. So I presented to you Krishna as a transcendental person. My dear friends, don't consider Krishna's reciprocation with Arjuna, Draupadi, other Pandava brothers, Kunti, Vidura, Sudama, the cowherd boys, cowherd girls, to be material. No, they're absolutely spiritual. They're absolutely divine. And these leelas are so beautiful. Even the yogis who are performing severe austerities from time immemorial, they take pleasure in the pastimes of Krishna. So I'll stop this discussion with a very nice verse from Brahma Samhita, where Brahmaji is praying to Krishna. Ananda chinmaya rasatmataya manasu ya praninam pratifalam smaratam upetya lila itena bhuvanani jayatya jasram govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So Brahma is addressing Krishna as Govinda and telling, oh Krishna, you perform wonderful pastimes in this earthly planet, within this universe, from time to time. And why do you perform that? Because when you perform these pastimes, they are very endearing to all seekers of truth. And when they hear these pastimes, they are naturally delivered from the pangs of material suffering. Very wonderful prayer. So with that, we stop here. Please ask your questions. Join us in learning Gita and live Gita. I'm very hopeful that you are enjoying all these video lectures. See you next time. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So there is one more video. I'll check how much time is it for that video, because this section has this lesson has 9 videos total. That's why I'm trying to just accommodate three videos in each of the class so that we can finish in 3 classes. Just check how mostly 20 minutes would be there. Let's see. This 33? Oh no. Okay, we can take this next time then. I suppose this is 33 minutes. Just a moment.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So this is a big video.
Om Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakyurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
So we can discuss our questions today if you have any questions. Otherwise, we'll have a next class, or if you want to, but that will be too long. Then this class will become very lengthy. So yeah, next week we can keep maybe 1 hour and 15 minutes class. So any questions on this class? Because I didn't intimated you in the beginning, so few people might be in rush because yeah, only Sanjita Mata is from Melbourne. Otherwise, like they have a different time zone also. That's why. Yes. Any realizations? Any? Just to let you know, this is a course, and this is called Learn Gita, Live Gita course. And after we finish these 4 videos, there will be like 4 lessons. You can even take up this lesson, this course. This is called Learn Gita, Live Gita thematic course, and it is very nice course. I have completed this course in 2021 by December, and you can get a certificate, and they will give you some students to mentor. World over, anywhere you can get some students, and you can guide them. So officially they are then allowing us to preach, although if we are initiated, not initiated. So after doing this course, we become I would not say well versed, but we become good to understand Bhagavad Gita, because it contains 5 aspects of Bhagavad Gita basically. So I would recommend that as many as people as could be, they should take up this course. And this is a life-changing experience I had while doing this course. This is very beautiful, very nice, and they have put a lot of effort in making these videos. And like this same course is available in Hindi also, and now they are trying to do in Telugu also. So they are asking me to do some in Gujarati also. But so they have now the dubbers, so they are just dubbing that, and they are trying to write down this book in several languages. So very beautiful course, very nice course. And yeah, for today, if you have any questions, you can ask, or we can discuss. If you have any comments or any good realizations, you can share. Okay, I'll unmute. Sorry. No, previously the children were just unmuting themselves, and they were, so that's why I muted everyone. Wait a moment. Allow participant to unmute themselves. Okay. I hope now you can unmute. If you have anything to share, you can let us know. Okay, Rajan, while the videos are on, you shouldn't turn on your mic, okay? Please. Okay, it's not for children basically. I thought your parents are also watching. Okay, don't disturb others. Okay. Any comments, any questions? All right. So see you all next week, and we'll have a bit lengthier class next week. So please come prepared, and or maybe because most of us are working outside, so I can't make it to 5:30 Adelaide time, because it will be difficult for maybe Dinbandhu Prabhu Mataji, Anandmai Mataji, for them. Because Sanjita Mataji is your time is moving ahead of us.
Yeah, Mataji.
So maybe you can, if you are getting late next time, you can watch the recording or something like you can do. Just next week we'll have easier class. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Ji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.